Well, hello, Liam. Thank you for coming on.
Good to see you, Henry.
Yeah. Welcome to Entrepreneurs Business and Finance. For those of you that don't know Liam, he is a longtime resident of Arlington and McLean, Virginia. And so our families knew each other, and we, at a young age, played tennis together, played golf together, ping pong together, you name it together. We were single together, so some cases, went on double dates. I can't remember exactly. It's been so long. And he's nice enough when I come and stay in Arlington. Sometimes I'll stay at he and Caroline's house with their used to be 4 kids at home, now only 3 kids at home.
Yeah.
Um, but we're here today because he is the co-president of CJ Coakley Company. And it's an extraordinary story. In addition, we're also here because he's a friend, but we're here the podcast because it's an extraordinary story. His father, Cornelius, I always called him Mr. Coakley, so not sure I even knew his first name was Cornelius, but started a company in 1962 that continues to this day with he and his brother and his sister running it now that his parents, unfortunately, after a long life, had passed away. Um, you want to talk about how you're, I mean, I'll read from your website because I can't remember all the things they do
Mhm.
now, but I know that you didn't do these when you started. So, uh,
I can
provide,
talk about that. I can talk about it,
yeah,
Henry.
go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
So, my dad started out came from Ireland, and when he was 18, and he came to my uncle Fergus's home. My uncle Fergus had whom I'm named after had been after my dad to come over to the United States, and so he came and stayed with my Aunt Margaret and my Aunt Molly, and Uncle Fergus. And my Uncle Fergus was in the Plasters Union, and he got him into the plastering apprenticeship. And he went on to work for a large commercial plastering company called Rubino and Ferris. And at some point in time, they made him a superintendent. And at that time, he stayed at that for a long period of time, couple of years, and decided to go out on his own in 1962. And back in those days, plastering, that's pretty much everything there was. All the walls and all the ceilings were metal lath and plaster. And as everything does, it evolves, and it evolved into drywall, drywall, and then acoustical ceilings. And through the plastering also became fireproofing. So as the business evolved, other opportunities came about, and so he continued to change as the market changed. Uh, and we used to do a lot of work for George Hyman, which was a very large general contractor. And I forget what year it was, but when with the union market kind of started entertaining non-union uh, as an option, George Hyman opened up Omni Construction, and at that time we followed suit with Dominion Applicators, and my mom was the president of that company, and that ran in existence until 1993, when pretty much we left the union and decided to merge with Dominion Applicators, as did George Hyman and Omni, and they merged into Clark Construction, and we became just one company, CJ Coakley, with all of the employees from Dominion Applicators, and the management team and the field staff all came into CJ Coakley. And so we grew, obviously a lot that year, because at the time they were probably we probably did 15 to $20 million a year. That was in 1993 with CJ Coakley, and we did somewhere between 12 and 15 to with Dominion Applicators. And then we immediately started to, take on more work with the additional senior staff that we had that was managing the work with Doug Roach and Doug Ayers at the leadership staff. So that went on for the existence of changing from union to non-union. And over the years, we've continued to, add different types of businesses and things that we offered. And in 2013, Doug Ayers stepped down, and Michael and I took over the company as co-presidents. And we continue to, again, start changes and start taking other lines of work a few years later. And now we're doing metal panels, rain screen, man and material hoists, overhead protection, all different kinds of things that we had never done before. So just before the pandemic, we had started a prefab company, and that's when we started prefabbing exterior wall framing, sheathing, and air barrier, all under one contract, one sole responsibility. And we performed all of those things along with the rain screen materials, which there's fiber cement, terracotta, and metal panels are all kind of under the rain screen umbrella. And we have continued to do that since 2019. So that we continue to evolve in terms of looking at what the marketplace is doing and what the needs are and opportunities are, and listen to what our customers want and give them what they're looking for.
Well, and just to give people an idea of some of the scope, I mean, some of these projects are the most iconic projects in the whole Washington, D.C. Metroplex, Baltimore area. I mean, one that sticks out of my mind is the stadium. So,
Yeah, it's kind of wild. You talk about from kind of how the market's evolved. We did the IRS headquarters when I came out of school. We did the Pentagon renovation. We've done malls. We did Boston Mall, Annapolis Mall, Tyson's Corner Mall, Montgomery Mall, Nordstrom's, all those kinds of things. Redskin Stadium was another big project we're currently working on. As the market's changed, we've gone from, we've done hospitals. We're back into doing hospital. We're doing a big hospital at NIH currently right now. And we're doing work at the Federal Reserve, the Eccles building, which is a huge project that is coming up. Days, but we used to do a lot of tenant work back in the days. But we are, changing with where the market is. Over the last 10 years, it's been a ton of residential, which we've done lots and lots of residential. We did the Verizon building right next to where Amazon headquarters is going in. There's another big project going on currently right now called Bell Street, the East Tower. We're finishing that up now and finished up one of the first phases of the Amazon project, which was another huge project. But we've done a lot of big jobs over the year, a lot of government jobs, a lot of private jobs, but we do a lot of large jobs.
And for people that aren't experts in construction, you're doing interior walls, and then in many cases, You know, there's
Hmm.
the contractors are building what steel structures or concrete structures, and now you're also doing the exterior,
Hmm.
you know. So picture
Yeah.
a 30-story high rise, and CJ Coakley may be doing the
Yeah.
inside and outside of the walls of that structure. Um,
Yeah, we did our first 33-story residential tower in Roslyn called Roslyn Central Place. And we pretty much did all the exterior. Well, that one had a lot of curtain wall, but to your point, we do the whole exterior, from concrete, it's all us. So we frame the exterior wall, which is structural studs, sheathing, potentially air barrier. And then if we're doing the skin, which we didn't do in years past, only up until about 2000, um, 2019. So from then, it's a potential that we could have done that, but we do all the interior walls, hang all the sheetrock, all the bathroom tile around the bathrooms, whatever type of board that may be, all the framing of all the ceilings. Ceilings have really been an evolving thing now in our trade. There's all kinds of fancy wood ceilings. We did the museum. You've been around a long time when you're renovating the same building again, 15 years later, 20 years later. That's happened on occasion. And in that building, that's exactly what happened. We just did that for John Hopkins, which has a lot of really fancy wood ceilings and ceilings in general that you see there, acoustical or what may have you. But it's on our website, which I'm sure you've seen. But that was a huge project that we're just finishing up.
well, and, the Coakleys, as a family, I know that Caroline has her own charity, but the family has a charity. Your mom is involved in charity, supported the
Hmm.
Catholic Church, so very much a part of the community when it comes to giving back, not only creating jobs, uh, but working hard and giving back. I remember when you were 14, 15. I hardly knew you that much then, but you were somewhere right around then. You start getting up on Saturday mornings and going out and hanging drywall.
Yeah, I've worked in the field for a lot of different years and um, was in the shop for my 15, 16, 17, 18. Uh, just was always around all the equipment, all the trucks. Um, and when we were doing Tyson's Corner Mall, was out there building scaffold with the guys and hanging drywall, putting on beads. There's all kinds of fancy beads in the when they renovate when we renovated the Tyson's Corner Mall, the whole lower level was for all the trucking to go into the different spaces, and they got rid of that and they made they expanded the mall to be this the lower level. And so when they renovated, they put skylights in, they put all kinds of shops all the lower level, which was nothing but storage and trucking to get goods in and out of there. So but yeah, it's been quite a journey and an evolution of all the different materials that are offered. Now that stuff has changed and continues to change.
That's really a neat success story to wrap up on because, yeah, you think something's changed since 1962 to
Mm.
2024? Oh my gosh. And the fact that the
It,
family's still in business and making all those adjustments and um, continuing to adapt. There's been huge companies that have come and gone in that time, many of them that have come and gone.
no question about it. We talk about it all the time. If you're not changing, you're dying. Um, that's something that's inevitable, and so you have to be careful with that in that regard because technology is so costly and you can spend too much or you can spend not enough. So there's a big balance there that needs to happen. Is not too soon and not too late. with all those kinds of things, and the marketplace is really changing quickly with all the cameras and all the technology that allows you to overlay documents, and then of course AI that's getting ready to come in and do all the kind of takeoffs that you need, and it's quite wild what's happening in our industry and continues to happen.
Well, I'm glad that you're there and CJ Coker's there, and I know a lot of people are glad for the family's charitable enterprises, like Caroline, your wife, and I know your sister and the whole family, and your mom's been honored so many times, and
Mhm.
God bless her up there in heaven. Um, so thanks for coming on the show. Really terrific. I think people are going to enjoy hearing about this.
Well, thanks for having me, Henry. It's always good seeing you, and appreciate your friendship. And if I can help in any way, I'm always here.